It all started as a normal day with the same beginning as always. He woke up, brushed his teeth, and even thought about what he might eat for breakfast. His appetite wasn't anything like it usually was, and he was somewhat unnerved. He had spoken with his colleagues the night before, and he had quite a bit on his mind. He shuffled through the cabinets in his hotel room and thought about what would hold him over without upsetting his stomach. As he stood there trying to decide on something, his mind kept racing. He truly didn't know how to feel about the world around him and how wrong it had become. He thought of the beautiful colored children that had always had to struggle with the feeling of being unworthy and outcast. He knew that his breakfast did not truly matter. He just wanted to somehow make a difference. As he stood there, lingering, he thought about the people before him who had stood tall to try to make a difference, to just be quickly relinquished and put aside. As his stomach growled, he thought about his previous experiences and if they had made a difference. He was not happy with them, just as he was unhappy with himself at that moment, trying to choose something that he didn't want to eat in the first place. His mind quickly turned back to the words spoken by his dear friends the night before in the hotel lobby. He truly appreciated the words, but knew in his heart that he was the only one that could make the difference that he wanted to make. After all, it was his dream. His name was Martin Luther King Jr., and he has forever impacted the world in which we now live today. Later in the day, as the crowd grew even more excited, King lost the nerves and became more driven and focused than ever. He knew what he had to do and nothing could stand in his way. He was confident. He began slowly, staying right on key with the speech that had been written for him and by him. He would begin referencing the lack of change over the course of many, many years. He went through the speech for a while, reading it as planned. He glared at the audience and was very happy with their reaction. His biggest fear of not making a difference was quickly washed away and completely out of his mind. He originally feared that the audience would decrease as time went by. He was wrong. The audience stood in amazement as King began to open his mind and heart to make the difference he was so unsure of. The moment changed things completely, and King himself said, "I started out reading the speech and I read it to a point." The audience response was so wonderful that day, and all of a sudden this thing came to me that I'd used many times before. I have a dream, and I just felt that I wanted to use it here, and I used it, and at that point I just turned aside from the manuscript altogether. I didn't come back to it. That was it. He made the difference he had always wanted. He overcame the conflict of worry that was instilled inside of him. His greatest fears, they were nothing. The world, and especially the United States, were changed forever. The speech King gave that day was monumental. I often wondered what would have happened if we had not had someone so willing to give his life to a cause. I wonder what our schools and public transportation would be like today. I wonder if the world would be better, but I highly doubt it. I feel like everyone is placed in this world for a reason. He has shown me that anyone can truly make a difference. I believe that Martin Luther King Jr. knew exactly what he needed to do and worked with all of his might to accomplish it. Guess what? He did.